The regulatory standards bill. Now, I think we need to look at this a little bit more. So $20 million, this is from Kate McNamara at the Herald. I'm sure you've seen this story. $20 million a year it's going to cost us, and there is no estimate on the monetary benefit from doing this. What is the value? What is the benefit?
Great question. Yeah, great question.
Very good question.
Yeah, great question.
Well, just a minute ago, you were talking about the
Answer the fucking question. Come on. Don't go.
Yeah.
Answer
It's
the
right
question.
there.
financial statements, the economic and fiscal updates that have come out and the amount of growth that's coming out of that. Now, someone could say, how much does it cost to produce the government's accounts every year? Tens of millions. What's the benefit of doing that? Well, simply that New Zealand is...
Whataboutism to the max. You know what? If it costs tens of billions, sure. Okay, now what is the RSB going to return us? This is the thing I talked about last week, where the interviewer needs to go, we can address your subject, your diversion there to another point, but I'd still like you to ask my point. Given that there's tens of billions of costs otherwhere, what is this still going to make us? Like, what is this going to make us? What are the numbers?
Can see what their politicians are up to and decide how to vote. We don't do that for regulation. We don't have a real transparency.
So this is talking point. This is talking point about small government, but no answer.
Around
Yeah, but
who is
one's
putting what cost.
quantitative, one's qualitative, isn't it? I mean, they're different things.
No, they're not. For example, I'll give you this question. You're very close to politics. Can you tell me who's the politician responsible for the earthquake regulations that have cost this country tens of...
How does that answer the question of what's the RSB going to earn us? How does that answer the question?
Earthquake regulations cost New Zealand.
Yeah,
Right.
well, it's Nick
Okay,
Smith.
we shouldn't
It's
have
the-
any
the-
then. We shouldn't have any.
Yeah, there's a debt in the ledger, obviously, that Nick Smith did. But what he's saying is, wow, look at all this money that it cost us. In a way of kind of going, so why do you need to know? You didn't know about Nick Smith, so why do you need to know about this? That's not the point. I mean, yeah, as I said, Ryan Bridge, day one, give him a break. But good question, weak follow-up.
billions in the last decade.
I don't know. Who was it?
It was Nick Smith. He got away scot-free. We need to shine a light on...
He got away scot-free. That's the phrase you use when someone's committed a crime, right?
Yeah,
And
I was
that's what
just
he's
going to say
talking
that. Are
about,
you saying that Nick
cost of
Smith should be
regulation.
in jail?
Well, most of the
That's-
ACT MPs seem to think that other MPs should be in jail when they don't agree with them. So
Yes.
maybe so. Maybe so.
on the red tape and
Yeah,
the
but
regulation
that's what
being put on people in this country.
But that's what Parliament, that's the function of Parliament. That's the function of an election, right?
Totally agree, but just like Parliament and elections require fiscal accounts to be able to judge the government spending, we need to put more transparency on the red tape and the regulation.
At $20 million a year, and you cannot say what the benefits will be.
Well, the benefit is a total change in government culture.
But a dollar benefit. I mean, it's like Labor with well-being. They said, oh, we're going to make a well-being budget, and we're going to measure everything against well-being. It was all wishy-washy, and nothing came out of it.
Let me give you another figure.
It's funny. You've given us three figures, none of which were the figures to the question that was asked. Can you just at least, I only want one figure, Mr. Seymour. I just want the figure that's the answer to my question. That's all.
Amount of money spent on policy analysis in government each year is $870 million. That's all the people making red tape.
Only $1 billion. I'd like that fact checked, please. I'd like that fact checked. Basically, yeah, that sounds high to me. I'd like that fact checked.
And regulation. We want to put some transparency on that so voters can identify which politician is making bad laws that is holding back my life. Because red tape, look,
Which politician is making bad laws to hold back their lives while we're asking you about the law you're making and a question you're not answering? So come on, dude. You want us to have like a clear look at all these politicians and to be able to say, this is what they're costing me. At the same time, you're being asked a question about your legislation, what it's going to cost me. And you're not answering the fucking question.
it adds cost to the things you do. It means people say no to projects they would have otherwise done because they've been burnt by the cost before. And over time, it erodes our whole culture because we find ourselves tied up in red tape instead of achieving. I think some decent transparency around that through the regulatory standards bill is worth it.